Hello folks, welcome back again. Still on the topic of knives. Here we have a range of knives from the Swedish Mora. Now to begin with, Mora is a town in Sweden, and one of its industry is to produce cutlery. So here we have a very basic Mora knife that is actually an instant classic. These were made quite some time back, and then as we progress, we move on to something that is more modern with plastic sheath and handle, and to the present day Mora here on this green colored knife here. So to begin with, the Mora is a very affordable utility knife that most people would, kind of like carry as a daily for daily use. And to put it simply, this is something that is very very simple, no frills, and has plenty of usage, especially in the countryside. A knife that is like this, with this very short, possibly 3 inch or 2.5, 2 3/4 inch of a length, is quite suitable for food preparation and daily cutting chores. You may use it to cut, ropes and open packages and all that. And the wooden handle here is shaped in such a way. It's actually pretty comfortable to be used, and for something like this, people will use it from very light to medium chores in the field. The basic Moras here, the ones with these red colored handles, typically around Scandinavia you will find it in grocery stores. These two were actually given to me as gifts by a friend of mine from Denmark, Jesper Voxnes. If you're familiar with the high-end custom cutlery business, he's a very well-known knife maker from Denmark. I've had this for quite some time, and the red Moras actually comes with many lengths, and these are quite the standard ones that we have. And to actually make it affordable, the guys from Mora uses carbon steel. Carbon steel is actually vulnerable to corrosion. As you can see, there's some rust and pitting here, but it's also quite easy to maintain. So when it comes to issues such as rust and all that, actually not a big problem. You just need to do more cleaning and all that, get rid of the stains, and just give it a nice polish. Okay, now these are quite economical knives that I have procured for my outing. Now this particular Mora, actually it still has the old factory name, KJ Ericsson from Mora, Sweden. This particular model here, I bought it from a tackle shop. I think more than 20 years ago. I paid 16 ringgit, and it has some features that are like quite useful, like a finger guard here to prevent slipping. It has a hole here that you can put in a lanyard, and as you can see, it's actually vulnerable to the elements. It already has some pitting and all that, but that's not an issue because this is something that I use to prepare bait for fishing. And the plastic sheath actually makes it very versatile. It has a simple belt loop here that you can put it on your belt, but this thing actually sits in my fishing bag. Now some years back, I think similarly like the Swiss knives, sometime in the late 2000s, the Mora company was incorporated as Mora Knife. So this particular model here, which is a stainless steel model, is one of the latest rendition from Mora, and you can get it from outfitters in the Klang Valley. for less than 40 ringgit. I think that's the ideal price that I would pay for a beginner's knife, especially something that you know, you can use for your outings, for food preparation, for camp, you know, doing camp chores and all that. Now what's interesting here is the rubberized grip, and it has a real nice belly for you to hold. It really feels good on your hand, and it's cheap. You can't fault the guys for making a cheap knife that is so high quality that you can actually give it to your children if they go camping, especially if your kids are in the Boy Scouts. You know, they need something that they can knock around and give it a you know, really rough with them. This is the way to go. I believe that the construction of the knife, the tang runs like midway into the handle, so based on that concern, this is not really built for harsh use. There are higher end Moras that are being made that really suits the bill, but I will get to that later, because these are premium quality knives, so their price range is actually above in the hundreds of ringgit range. So I won't go into that. Now, lastly, in the lot, this is a traditional looking Mora knife. You can see that if you compare both the red handle ones, there's a lot of improvement done to the handle. There's a lot of belly here for you to hold. And this design is very similar to some of the finished knives that I have, which I'm going to, you know, do a video later. The plastics are pretty hardy and all that, and is actually impervious to natural stuff, like, you know, you don't get insects eating up your knife handle like the wooden one. And it's actually, you know, you can use it wet or dry. And this rendition of the Mora actually is carbon steel again. Very vulnerable to the elements. You know, if you leave it outdoors overnight, it will rust. Definitely it will pit. I paid around 60 ringgit for this, and I think it's very overpriced, but it's something that I would like to have as a basis for comparison with the earlier Moras. These knives, you know, there are more pros than cons. You know, they are cheap, they are quite affordable. They will give you plenty of flexibility and usage in the field. What I can say, that the only setback I see with regards to carbon steel is the fact that you really have to spend a bit of time maintaining it. But as far as keeping it sharp, carbon is really easy to sharpen. If you know all the necessary steps to sharpen your knife, this thing will last for a lifetime. You can hand it down to your grandchildren. Well, that's all I have on the Moras. These are again, like I said, these are affordable. You know, they are indispensable. You can use it in any outdoor pursuit, hiking. You want to go fishing and all that. These are very affordable knives to have. So I will move on to multi-tools after this video.